the show where we discuss all things soccer, especially the Premier League. And I'm here with my co-hosts, starting with,
I'm Demay. I'm sadly his brother.
sadly, very sad. He's adopted, by the way. But we also have Sydney.
My name is Sydney. You can call me Sido.
We can call him that guy. On the show, we refer to him as that guy.
That guy.
Yeah.
I'm Jude. We refer to Jude as the teacher.
Or ETT Jude. ETT Jude is more preferable.
Very common. What does that mean?
Don't act like you don't know what it means. But anyways, we've been friends for a long time, and also clearly we're soccer fans. Football fans, wherever you're from, whatever you call it. Anywho, we don't pretend to be I don't think anybody has played soccer professionally. Except maybe Sydney, of course. But But we're crazy soccer fans, and just like we're straight into the game, as Michael once said, or the man once said. And so we're going to dive right in. And today's topic, of course, the hottest thing in soccer right now, which I think is Alexis Sanchez. His move going to Manchester United, how that's going to change the whole landscape of the game in England, and so on and so forth. What do you guys make of the whole news about Alexis Sanchez? Everybody gets a 30-second rant. Jude, you have the floor. You start first.
I just feel it's a very, very nice addition from Man U, man. I feel he's that catalyst we need to take us to where we want to be. And in Champions League, obviously, he's not cup tied with us now. So he's just that guy that's just going to take us from being a little bit above average now to maybe over the top. That's what I have to say.
Sido?
Oh man, I think it's fantastic. I think getting Sanchez gives United another player that can deliver a spark on the pitch, that extra creativity. I think having being Mourinho and having your defensive base already set up, midfield I feel like with Matic and Pogba were set up. Just throwing in Alexis in there is huge. Moving forward, attacking, getting more goals, putting the pressure more on the opposition. I just feel it's great for what we're getting him for as well. Taking away a player who's not been comfortable in United. Speaking about Mkhitaryan and getting in a much better player, having not to shell out not as much in terms of transfer funds, but a bit much in wages. But I still feel it's worth it.
Yeah, fair enough. Michael? Or man?
Sanchez! Alexis Sanchez!
That's how I feel. That's how I feel. I feel like Sanchez. I feel United are getting one of the top 3 players in the Premier League, besides Sergio Aguero and I'm not talking about this season. I'm not talking about this season. Sergio Aguero and Eden Hazard.
Over Harry Kane?
Yes. Over the past 4 years, yes. Yes. Sergio Aguero and Eden Hazard and Alexis Sanchez. And then maybe if you're talking top 5, you can now add Harry Kane, De Bruyne, and things like that. But that's not the point. I think you're getting the top 2 players in the Premier League. I think he's one of the most creative players in the Premier League. I think his quality is undoubted. He's a hungry player. He wants to win. Like one more needs to be said. The guy wants to win. He's hungry. Yes, he's coming to United because we are offering him more money, but because they are offering him more money. But I really don't care. I think he would win trophies with the club. I think his hunger would be infectious. I think, like you said, Mkhitaryan needs to leave the club. So why not get rid of a player who didn't really fit in? He had a struggle beginning. He kind of picked up towards the middle, and then towards the end, he really, really just face planted, I like to call it.
I think that's fair to say, ideally. Of course, Sanchez, one of the top 3 players, undisputedly. Everyone probably agree, for the past couple of years in the Premier League. Making big moves to the other side of United, and this is ironic because it was kind of thought to be a done deal with Man City. On the other side of Manchester, rather, instead of United. Right? But everyone thought he was going to Man City, Pep bound, he has played for Pep before, and everything. All of a sudden, United just came from nowhere with this bid and gazon to the whole City thing.
Mourinho way.
In Mourinho way, doing Willian and so forth in the past. But you mentioned one thing actually, being a catalyst, right? And I think we've seen this before in the past where United go on and sign RVP and Robin Van Persie, and he goes on to obviously inevitably win the league from Arsenal, ironically.
Out of caution though, it's not the same thing, simply because when United signed Robin Van Persie, the year before they signed him, they lost the league on goal difference.
Yeah.
Right? United are losing the league by 12 points. So there is a significant RVP
But
took
then
them
again-
over the top, but you were already close without him. United are not close without him. So even with him, yes, is a significant bridge in quality, yes, but don't expect the same. Oh, because of this, that extra he's not going to make up that extra 12.
That's why I
points.
said for now in Champions League, since it's not cup time with Arsenal, we can channel a real significant push towards that rather than the league title till summer.
Man, the way I look at it, I feel like if you're losing the league, you're losing the league. Losing by 12 points, 3 points. The season before, United lost the league and they had to get Van Persie. They tried to, both managers, speaking about Fergie and Mourinho, trying to solve the same problem. Trying to solve the problem of getting more goals, a more creative player, a more dynamic player that can just make goals out of nothing, Because I guess the system, the way it works right now, what we've learned this season is not enough to provide the ammunition needed to battle a team like City. So you just need those sparks coming across the pitch, and I feel like Sanchez fits the bill perfectly for that.
But what does he bring to the team, if you had to say?
Goals.
In general, right?
Goals.
Tons of goals.
individual brilliance.
Bucket loads of goals.
What I find even more important, than those two factors is his will to win, which I feel is, infectious. A lot of people buy into that. A lot of people get the hunger. A lot of people get that same desire because, if you see one of your best players going in for every tackle, going in to win every ball, going in for every shot, making everything count, it sort of inspires everyone else to do the same. And I think it's just phenomenal for the team.
I read an article recently and it said that Arsenal players actually hated that. They hated not necessarily his hunger for the game, but sometimes his passion was over the top. Like when he's frustrated
Right.
and he's throwing tantrums and things, it makes them look bad, which it does. 'Cause they're also
Absolutely.
perfect.
But can you blame him?
I can't blame him,
I remember
but I
that game
can
against
see
Bournemouth that he
that's the game I'm talking about.
Who
I
started?
can't blame him, but I can see where they're coming from because after a while, it's like we also want to win. And yes, we're not perfect. You might be a better player than us, but it's kind of like throwing us under the bus.
I won't lie, someone like that, I'm not giving him the green light to throw his teammates under the bus, but he actually has every right to because
Right.
he's the only one pressing. You see Ozil just staying there like one widow, I don't know, I can't press ball. He's saying, oh, my manager has told me to not injure myself, to not pretty boy football. I don't like that, man. And he gives the rest of the guys, if our best player, Ozil and Sanchez, one of them is not pressing, and another is pressing, you may just say, okay, this one's not pressing now.
Right.
I'm not doing it. I'm not seeing Sanchez doing it. I don't know what pressing, no one helping me, so I won't lie. And whenever they actually get back into the game, I've noticed against Bournemouth, I can't remember the other game, it was not against Liverpool that we were down to 0. Who scored the go-ahead goal that got them back into the game? It was always Sanchez that always starts this comeback. Then Giroud, we're doing all these, what's this doing, scorpion kick, this thing, celebrations when they're down
Usually
to
it's
like
Sanchez
that.
still.
So, yeah.
And then I feel like that's what you get when you get that sort of hunger and that passion. I feel like in some cases too, it can go off the wrong way because if he's personally as invested as he is, that can always come off looking in a different sort of light. But I feel like in his heart and his mentality is just to constantly drive, win, achieve, go for every ball until the game is done. And if someone is not doing the exact same things as him, that's the time that I guess they can catch feelings and start feeling some upset. Because if you're really committed to the game as much, it's one thing to say it and it's one thing to be about it. You can say you want to win, but if your actions are not straight out on the pitch and you get that from Arsenal, I don't know,
I have a question.
50% of the time,
What will he do to make Lukaku, Martial, or Rashford, or any of those guys that he's playing among the top 4 better?
for one thing I see is we're talking about a player that's 29 years old. We're talking about an experienced hand. We're talking about a player that's played for some of the best clubs in the world. For one thing, they're going to learn a lot of work ethic. They're going to really learn what it means to be a professional. We look at all these guys and I guess we criticize them a lot, but Martial is 22 years old. Rashford is turned 20. Lingard 24, 25. Man, most of these guys, how old is Lukaku? 24, 25. A lot of these guys are kids at the end of the day. We wages and everything, we look at them differently now, but how many of them really know what is really about to be a professional? How many of them have really come into the club and been with the likes of Scholes or Giggs, and followed that seamless transition, United way of like hard work, I feel like he brings that and they can learn from that every single day.
And his goals speak for themselves. I mean, he scored 24 goals last season alone in 28 appearances. And this one is not really even like a number 9.
Right.
I mean, per se, right? So, I mean, clearly, he brings a lot of that to the team. But speaking of obviously what you just said now, we looked at like, obviously, I think we had Andy Cole and Dwight York, like if I'm doing partnership with Manchester United and everything. They got along pretty well, right? And you're looking at the bromance of like Lukaku, Pogba, all these guys on the squad right now.
Right.
My question was that where does he actually does he help Lukaku? When do you even play him, right? I mean, Pogba himself obviously speaks like 4 languages.
Right.
I mean, so I think there's no problem with like the language barrier, and he has been in England for quite a while, right? So yeah, does he just fit in generally as well? I wanted to ask.
Well, I don't know if he fits in per se with the personality, because from what I know about Sanchez, he's very to himself kind of person. He likes himself, he likes his dogs, he likes his football. Doesn't really like much else. So yeah, that's Sanchez I know. He's not really talkative, and the way I see United, like behind the scenes and everything, they have very close bonds amongst themselves. Like Lingard and Rashford are inseparable. Martial is now becoming friends with Lukaku and Pogba and Bailly. Like they all have their own little cliques and groups. I don't know necessarily where he fits in. How many South Americans?
He fits in.
It's not about being Spanish. It's not necessarily about being Spanish, because I mean, Bellerin was in Arsenal, Cazorla was in Arsenal. It's not about where you're from or anything. It's not about your background.
Right.
It's just about, because I mean, it's just
but
about It's
in the
just
same
about
way, I'll
like
say his personality is actually really similar to Mata. Mata's not a talkative guy either. He's not. You're not seeing him a lot behind the scenes. He just.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he has. You don't have to fit in to succeed.
Right.
You don't have to. But in terms of does he fit in, I think in the team he definitely fits in. I mean, like.
Yeah, we're talking the football here. We're not talking.
Yeah, but if it's behind the scenes and everything, I don't necessarily know. You can't.
Okay, but looking at the football, like, because I mean, I've been thinking about that in my head. Sanchez's favorite position would be on the left. But now we have Martial, who's like on the blitz right now, playing so well. So bringing in a top player like that, I mean, are we looking to get the best out of him and put him in his rightful position? Would that mean costing Martial, his position in a place where he's already comfortable right now? What do you guys think?
I think for Chile, Sanchez plays behind the striker and he plays really well for them. So I think his position for Arsenal is because that's kind of where they could fit him per se. I think if you're a quality footballer, can play anywhere. Messi has proven that. Messi played striker, Messi played right wing, now Messi plays supporting striker. You can put Messi in centre back. Messi, like,
That's a bit of a stretch. You lose a lot of headers too.
yeah, he scored 24 goals as a number 9. He was playing as a number 9.
Right?
Playing as a number 9. I think Sanchez, realistically, I honestly believe he can play where Lingard is playing right now. If Sanchez wants to play on the right, he can play on the right.
So is he going to, obviously he's going to replace
In fact, from the right, he can be coming
he's going to replace
and let
Lingard.
Valencia.
No.
Stay
I don't
wide
necessarily,
from right
believe that. I think the whole team will be rotated, and Mourinho has proven that all season. There's nobody who plays week in, week out. Mata doesn't. Martial doesn't.
When you have a top
Rashford
player like
doesn't.
Alex Sanchez, of course he's going to play week in, week out.
Absolutely.
Like Lukaku is playing week in, week out.
Yes,
That's
but
right
then
now.
you also need to know how to manage your players. Lukaku is playing week in, week out because we really don't have any other striker. We haven't had any. We only had Zlatan for what, 3 games?
Yeah.
So we don't have any other actual striker.
I think you're playing someone 450,000 quid.
Yeah, but you also need, but you also need to know how
week
to, you
in,
also need to know
week
how
out.
to manage your players, because you're in 3 competitions. You're in the FA Cup, you're in the
Right.
Premier League, and you're in the Champions League. So yes, if you have a Champions League game on Wednesday, he doesn't have to play on Saturday, because he's going to play on Wednesday. And he's going to play Wednesday after. If you have an FA Cup game against Brighton, he doesn't have to play.
Man, even looking at Sanchez, he's never struck me as the kind of player that gets burnt out. If anything, he wants more games.
Yes, but that's always detrimental. I always feel like that's always detrimental to players. Sanchez hasn't had a summer off in almost 5 years. He goes to Confederations Cup. He goes to Copa what's the American?
But there's a difference
League.
between wishful thinking and what's actually going to happen. Because the reality is like,
I believe that. I believe in
Sanchez
reality,
will
Jose
play a
Mourinho
lot of
realizes
games,
that
absolutely.
he's signing a 29-year-old on 450,000 on a 4-year contract. And if you want that guy, I mean, like we said, he's gone to the World Cup. He went to Confederations Cup. He went to Copa America twice.
Well, he's
he hasn't
missing
had
out
a
on this
summer.
World Cup, so
Yeah, he's missing out on this World Cup. But if you're
He's
signing a
getting that
21-year-old, you have to know, okay, yes, we know Sanchez wants to play, but the manager has to be smart enough to know that, okay, this guy is actually old. He can't play every game. Yes, he wants to, but he can't. I mean, Sanchez was playing Europa League. Europa League is a tough competition.
he's going to play every important game,
Then you can say that.
which would be
But he's not going
every
to play
league
every
game, right?
yeah.
Which would be
But he's gonna
every
finish
league
strong.
game, every Champions League game, and everything from the latter stages of the other cup
FA Cup
competitions.
quarterfinals. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
So for me, I think I'm not even focused about like his position. Like, who's he going to bounce?
that's why I asked. Like he said that Lingard. That's.
I think he's not going to bounce one particular. What I'm saying is that even if Sanchez plays, he's not going to remove one particular player. So Sanchez can play a certain position, right? And then in the middle, you might have Lingard.
Okay, what do you
right?
think he should play?
And then next weekend, you might have Sanchez in the middle, Martial on the left.
Okay,
Next
what do you
weekend, you
think
can have
he should
Sanchez. I think Sanchez should be behind the striker.
Why you don't have
That's
that formation?
Lingard does that. Lingard is that free roaming player.
roaming player,
He
okay.
does anything you want. So you
I
can
agree.
now define the role and give it to Sanchez.
okay, but then wouldn't that now be at the detriment of a player that's finally found his best?
You can put
stretch
Lingard
of
on the
form?
right.
Okay, so then we take. So that means
Lingard's development has its maximum potential now diminished.
diminishes.
No, I'm saying you can
and
put
then
Lingard
what?
on the right.
Because for
But
me, I
Lingard,
feel
you
like
say that Lingard is already flourishing and found his home in that middle of
probably the best he has played in his life since he
Exactly.
came out of the womb.
Yeah, and by moving into the right,
Martial is
to
playing
accommodate-
well.
to
I
accommodate
mean,
Sanchez.
so for me, I feel like what makes sense right now is just to make a straight swap for Rashford and Sanchez.
Rashford doesn't play. Mata.
Or Mata Rashford.
Mata-
We're talking about that right, yeah.
On the
Mata
right.
has played really well. Guys don't know it because he doesn't score. But Mata, if you watch Manchester United game, Mata has played
The one
really
problem I have with
extremely well.
Mata though is
He just
the
doesn't
pace.
score.
Is the pace. I feel like what Mourinho is going for, if you look at the mode of the team, is more pace and power, and Mata offers neither. But then that's not a hit or a knock on Mata because I mean anybody that watches him play, he's a creative
You're right.
genius.
You
He's
are
like-
right
In the big
about-
games,
you
that
are
matter,
right.
Will Mourinho play matter?
Right.
You are right about pace and power. Mata started against Manchester City. Just
You know
point
Pogba
out.
was out, right?
Yes, but we still
But
play. But Under Herrera still started. Under Herrera doesn't start. If Pogba was there, Under Herrera wouldn't have started, and Pogba would have started. Mata would have played. Mata has played. I'm pretty sure. I don't know have the statistics, but I'm pretty sure Mata has played every.
But do you think if Pogba was
Big game.
around,
Check the
Mourinho
statistics.
would play Matic,
Check
Pogba,
statistics.
and Mata, or rather than Matic, Pogba, and Lingard? Why hasn't Mourinho been trusting Mata to play every single game, or why is he not a mainstay in the United team all this while on all the guys?
I feel like
I'm sorry,
one-
but Mata has more appearances than Rashford, Martial, and Pogba this season. Do you know that?
Fair.
Pogba due to injury, largely.
But,
Yes, Pogba due to injury,
What
yes.
of the impact has he? What direct impact has he now made?
Yeah, but you
Out
might
of
not.
everything?
But
To
it's kind of
justify
like
what-
it's kind of like when you watch football and there's always this thing we call you have the goal scorer
Yeah.
and then you have the guy who gives the assist
Or the
and
guy
there's this
for
thing the guy who gives the
tempo
ball
building guy,
exactly and that's
Yeah.
matter a lot.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah,
watch the
yeah.
game, that's actually matter a lot. And I was thinking about it when they're saying signing Sanchez, and I watched Mata play this weekend, and Mata played well.
So I don't think-
Mata gets sacrificed a lot because of his height. When we're winning the game 1-0, we want to bring on Fellaini or, for example, someone
Right.
like that. We take off Mata because, like you said, we now want to change the game to like a counter-attacking,
But that's the thing
counter.
right now. Mourinho is just strictly a Mourinho thing right now. He just doesn't. He's just a Mourinho A1 player that he goes to and says,
Even
okay, you're
even
my guy.
beyond that, because that actually delves into
The
point that
Mourinho
Musa
point.
asked. The
Speaking
Mourinho
on that,
point, right?
Mourinho is known to draft his kind of players.
Yeah,
and like
exactly.
the definition of a Mourinho player. Mourinho goes to Real Madrid. There's a lot of speculation that Mourinho is telling Ronaldo to track back and
Right.
like defensively.
No, there's no speculation.
Defensively.
That's fine.
Facts
A
only.
lot of facts, right? And then comes Chelsea, he tells her to track back and everything. And then I know some people on this show, particularly, ETT, have been upset about the whole, just as a general spectator, upset
Right.
about Mourinho's type of football in general,
Yes.
right? So, are we going to see Mourinho do a similar thing to Alexis Sanchez coming into this Man U team?
Man, what I love most about Mourinho is that discipline. I feel like football is a two-sided sport. I feel like you can just play attack and forget about defense. I mean, everything's working well for Pep now, so it's beautiful to watch when you have all that attacking intent. But I believe that every player should have two disciplines: how you help out in attack and how you help out in defense. I would have no problems seeing Sanchez track back. In fact, I believe he should track back. I believe if I was a manager, man, everybody that loses the ball should be tracking back.
In the big games, especially when all the cameras are on him, to go and actually win the game.
I think then you people are phrasing it wrong. I think your problem is that Mourinho doesn't go for it. He doesn't.
Right.
That's where we're coming.
That's
right.
That's actually
Okay,
okay.
that's
But
fair.
that's not tracking.
I
back.
feel like
But I agree with that. He doesn't go for it, but I believe that that's just that's how he has always been. That's how he has won his trophies. And I watched an interview last night with Adebayo, and Adebayo said Mourinho doesn't care whether he has to pack a bus, pack a plane, pack your mother. He will pack whatever he has to pack to win, right? Whereas the difference is other managers like Pep is like, I don't want to win football that way. I'd rather lose I'd rather lose playing the right way.
Yeah, but of course. But the
Okay.
question was, does that take anything away from Alexis Sanchez's ability? Because seeing that kind of person in that situation, just defensive minded all the time, is like at the game against Liverpool, for example, right? You kept on saying, man, you should have actually gone for the game and everything. You sat back. Liverpool brought the game to you, so on and so forth, right? So seeing Alexis Sanchez in that situation, I guess what I'm asking is Mourinho the right manager for him right now? What were you trying to do for Manchester United?
Yes, and I believe that Liverpool game with Manchester United, if Manchester United went for it, they would have been sliced open. I'll give you an example. What happened to Arsenal at Anfield? What happened to City at Anfield? You have to know your situations. And also, we did not have Pogba, if I'm correct.
You
Is that
object to
right?
that?
We didn't have Pogba.
Yeah.
So we did not have the players to even actually go for it. So if you wanted United to go for it, they would have been sliced open.
I won't say sliced open.
They would have been sliced and
could
diced.
have lost, but Liverpool had only won one game in 8 games. And what happened the next?
But
few
Liverpool
games?
were at
They
home.
lost home away. I believe in home away stuff.
Liverpool had only won one game in 8 games. That was right after the international break, wasn't it? And before the international break was when they beat Arsenal 4-0.
4.
Yes, they beat Arsenal 4-0.
That was only one
They
win.
beat Arsenal 4-0.
That was the win he's
That's the
talking
only
about.
win.
They
now.
beat
Eight
Arsenal
games.
4-0.
Who cares? That was the
Ah.
only win. That was the only win.
Man, I feel like some grounds, there's just something attached to them that you always have to be wary. And I feel like Anfield is one of those grounds. I don't feel like
Liverpool
I don't feel
catch
like
you at
march
Anfield.
into Anfield
Oh, God.
So,
looking
so,
to like
I have one thing.
run them off the
Won't
pitch.
you rather sacrifice? Because I believe United when you're not an attacking, in my opinion, when you're not an attacking team, by your coach's mentality and everything,
Right.
you go on a run of let's say goal scoring, and I'll go to Klopp to counter this. When you're not an attacking team, mine is a defensive team. The score goes here, but their manager is defensive. When you're on an attacking streak, you have to keep up that momentum of scoring goals and being adventurous. In my opinion, the moment you stop it for one game, call me crazy, but what happened against Huddersfield? Somehow, some way we lost, and we just went on some very
Fair enough.
nasty
Fair
What happens to Liverpool when they go on a streak whereby like, okay, they are defensive minded. I won't say defensive minded, but they keep some clean sheets here and there, and they don't really take many risks. They do well, but all of a sudden, when they just want to continue to go for it, that's when
So pretty much Liverpool are on the other side of the coin.
Exactly.
United are on the other side.
Exactly.
Of the coin.